What's up, guys? It's a little back on a video, and the Warriors might be back. I was not even planning to record for a few more hours. Matter of fact, I was gonna make a NBA All-Star voting video where we talk about the All-Stars, so that'll have to wait for tomorrow. But the game just ended. I know you guys are seeing this the day after. The game just ended between the Warriors and the Celtics, and I think that was the best game I've seen this year. That was single-handedly the best game I've seen this year, and it's probably because the Warriors won. Obviously, I'm a Warriors fan if you guys been watching the channel for some time now. We had the NBA 2022 Finals rematch last night between the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. The game went to overtime. It was back and forth. Steph Curry hit a bunch of tough shots. The Warriors actually made some lineup changes. They gave some different guys some more minutes, as I said they should do. I dropped a video like 4 or 5 days ago saying the Warriors dynasty is going to be over and they're not going to have a chance in the playoffs. The run's going to come to an end. Maybe Draymond will leave. Maybe Clay will leave. I don't know. But they got to make changes. And this was the first time that I can say they made changes. This game, the Warriors looked like a completely different team. It was kind of a back and forth game in the fourth. The Celtics had the lead. Steph came down, hit a three. I think the Celtics might have went and scored. Clay came down. He hit a three. Then Steph came down again, hit another three. Then at some point it was tied up. I think it was 121 to 121. Steph came down. I think he broke Al Horford, got him leaning. Horford like fell backwards into the paint. It was low-key an ankle breaker. Steph shot, I believe it was a three, might have been a midi, missed it. The Warriors got the board. Chris Paul literally pulled a shot from like near the logo. Like he was like 2-3 steps. No, it wasn't the logo, but he was a few steps behind the three-point line. I was about to say, bro, if Chris Paul's hitting shots like that, I don't know what got into Chris Paul, but he missed that. The Celtics came down. They had a chance to win it in regulation, and Tatum was clamped up by JK, the cum bucket Kuminga, who's, by the way, been playing absolutely great defense. I think he is a star in the making. Obviously, it's early into his career, but I think he has the tools. He has the physicality. And I just think he could be a star one day. The guy that needs to be talked about more is Derek White, the guard for the Boston Celtics. I made a video, I think it was 2 videos ago, where I talked about the most surprising players from this NBA season. And I already knew coming into the year Derek White was underrated, but he exceeded expectations even more so far into the season. The guy is absolutely hooping. I think he even has a chance at being an all-star. He probably won't, just because of how loaded the All-Stars really are and the talent at the top of the NBA is. But Derek White's been hooping. You see this tweet from Chris Williamson. Derek White went bald and turned into MJ, especially tonight, bro. I think he had 30 points. We're about to look at the stats. But, bro, he was hooping. He hit a lot of shots, and I believe he even took the most shots out of all the Celtics. He took more shots than Tatum, took more shots than Jaylen Brown. So if you guys missed the game, take a look at the stats. Of course, no Porzingis in this one. So Horford played some more minutes, 38 minutes total. Of course, this game went to overtime, so some of the minutes are a little bit inflated. And I know I'm barely on the screen because if I'm going to show all the stats, I got to make the stats or whatever bigger. So I'm barely on the screen. But I don't think that really matters. Tatum with 15 points. He kind of sprained or rolled his ankle in, I think, the first quarter, but he ended up coming back, I think, in the second. And again, he played 41 minutes. He tied for the lead out of all the Celtics players when it comes to minutes. But Tatum underperformed. 2 for 9 from 3, 5 for 17 from the field. Need more out of him in a big game like this. I mean, it is just a regular season game, but it is the finals rematch. And I mean, pretty much every game matters. The Celtics, luckily for them, were 20-5. Now they're 20-6. So I guess it doesn't mean as much, but when you're fighting for seeding, literally every game matters. Drew Holiday with 13 points, and then Derek White with 30. He dropped a 30 bomb, led the Celtics in field goals. He took 24 shots, and 18 of them were threes. There was one play where he missed, got it back. I think shot another three, missed again, got it back, had another open three, but he passed it up. Like, he had so many open looks, and honestly, he was like the leader for this team in this game. Like the tweet said, bro, he has been, but in this game, bro was hooping like MJ. Jaylen Brown with 28 points, had a big chance at the end to get some points. But as we scroll down here, Trace Jackson Davis with almost 30 minutes played great. And I don't know if he got the block. He has 3 blocks, so I guess they gave him a block for it. But Jaylen Brown was going in and it looked like it was going to be an open layup or dunk. And Jackson Davis got a hand on it, or at least disrupted it. I don't even know. It happened so fast. But Trace Jackson Davis has been playing great. And with no Draymond, you need people to step up. I said the Warriors, especially when it comes to the bigs, they need help there. Looney with 14 minutes, Jackson Davis with 29. Again, Sark's been playing solid. He only played 15 minutes, but maybe Trace Jackson Davis is going to be the answer. He's a guy that I've been saying, I think he has a lot of potential. Maybe they trade him to go get another big that's already, you know, panned out, maybe a little bit older, more experienced. But maybe if Trace Jackson Davis keeps hooping like this, he had 10 points, 13 boards, 1 assist with 3 blocks, played crucial minutes down the stretch. Maybe they keep him and maybe he's the answer, because the Warriors team that I saw out there tonight showed a lot of fight. They showed that they had a lot of grit. And I mean, if they play like that, I think they could probably beat anybody in the NBA. Also, gotta give a shout out to Klay. He's been hooping lately. I think in the last like 4 games, he's probably averaging like 26 points per game. He had 24 tonight with 6 3-pointers. Curry, of course, had 6 threes. Absolutely clutch performance from Curry. And Klay also hit a clutch 3 in the end of the 4th quarter to pretty much force overtime. I mean, Curry hit one after him, but all of those 3-pointers that Curry and Klay hit all mattered a lot. They were all crucial to the Warriors winning this game. And of course, if we take a look at the NBA standings, the Celtics are still the 1 seed in the East. The Bucks are right behind them, though. I believe the Celtics have been the 1 seed like pretty much the entire year. Maybe not the first or second game, but for as long as I can remember, the Celtics have been the 1 seed. 20-6, Bucks right behind them. 76ers creeping up. Sixers were kind of down here, at least in the mix for a little while. The Magic, I think, had the 2 seed at 1.3 seed. They're falling a little bit as things start to kind of pan out. We get a bigger sample size. I guess the Magic are dropping, as they probably should. I think the Cavs, well, the Cavs have injuries now with Garland and Mobley. I was going to say the Cavs should go up, but maybe not. Maybe they're going to stay around the 6th seed. If we go down to the West, the Warriors still on the outside looking in, but they're only 1 game behind the Phoenix Suns. 4 days ago when I made a video about the Warriors, you guys can check that out if you want. They were like 3 games behind the Suns. They were 3 games out of the play-in. They're already only 1 game back, and they just beat the Celtics, which is a huge win, which, you know, if you look at the schedule, most people probably thought that would be an L. So that's a huge win for the Warriors. If they can, you know, get a few more tough wins, they definitely will be back into the play-in soon. Who's most likely to fall out? We got the Suns, Rockets, Lakers, Pelicans, Clippers. It's tough, bro. Let's see. Who would I pick if I had to pick 1 team to fall out of the top 10? I actually kind of think the play-in / playoffs picture, at least for like which teams are going to be in it, like which 10 are kind of set, or I should say the top 11. Like, I don't really see any of these 4 teams, the Jazz, Grizzlies, Trailblazers, and Spurs, like getting into the picture. Maybe the Grizzlies have a late push with Ja back, which we're going to talk about in a second, but 11 and up is pretty much the teams that I expect to be in it. If I had to pick 1 team to fall out, I think it would have to be the Houston Rockets. Although they've been playing great, they have exceeded expectations so far, but I think they would have to be the team that I would pick to fall out for the Warriors to get in, which honestly is likely. I feel like the Warriors are 1.5 games back and they have the experience, whereas the Rockets are one of the most young teams in the entire NBA. I think the Warriors definitely have a chance here to get into the play, and it's probably likely that they get in. Ja Morant returned to the NBA last night after his 25-game suspension, and as I just showed you guys before, the Grizzlies have, what was it, 7 wins? I think they're 7-19 or 7-18. I guess that would make sense. And Ja came back and he went off. I think he had 34 points. I don't know. We're about to look at the stats in a second, but down the stretch, you guys can see 113 to 113 with 9 seconds to go. And just, I'm gonna let y'all see it if you guys were not watching the game or if you weren't on social media. Ja got the ball, 5 seconds, 4. He's driving in, 2, 1, layup is good. And the Grizzlies won on a Ja Morant buzzer beater in New Orleans. He was hyped. He was running down the locker room or whatever, the alley, screaming that he kept receipts. People can't switch up now. All that type of stuff. I love the energy. And it was definitely interesting for me to see how the crowd reacted, because it was in New Orleans, so it wasn't a home game. And the commentators were actually saying, it sounds like it's actually more positive for Ja, like a lot of cheering. But what I heard from the crowd, like every time he'd get the ball, especially in the first quarter and before the game started, when they would, you know, show him, I guess, on the big screen or whatever they were doing, or maybe he just took the floor, I heard a lot of booing. So I heard a lot of booing, and it was from the broadcast. Normally you can't hear the crowd too much. The commentators were saying it was positive cheering, but maybe they were just trying to be nice. But yeah, it sounded like he was getting a lot of boos, which will probably keep up for the remainder of the season, at least the next few weeks, especially when they're on road games. But Ja, 34 points in his first game back. He did not miss a step. 6 boards and 8 assists. He had a plus minus of 12. I know you guys can't see it, but he was plus 12, and he played 35 minutes. That was a big thing. How was his cardio going to be? Was he going to be able to play a lot of minutes coming into it? I think Coach Jenkins said that he would play low 30s, but he looked perfect. He looked like he's been playing all year. And I mean, yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell me if you just were to turn this game on, first game you've seen this year, that he hadn't played the 25 games prior. It looked like he's already in mid-season form. Giannis had an off night, if you want to call it that. He still had a triple-double, but his points were the lowest of the triple-double. He had more rebounds and assists than he had points. I think he had like 11 points, maybe 12, 13, something like that. But Dame went off. 40 points, 3 boards, 4 assists. He had a plus minus of plus 26 as the Bucks beat the Spurs last night, 132 to 119. As you guys know, I always like to show love and give people their flowers when they play great. And this game wasn't as crazy as a blowout as most people expected. Spurs kind of held their own. Keldon Johnson went off in this game as the Bucks won by 13. Bucks are now 20-7, second in the West, and the Spurs are 4-22. They really can't buy one. I mean, they beat the Lakers the other night. They were injured, but the Spurs are looking pretty bad. I mean, I did not think they're going to be this bad. And KD, in a loss to the Trailblazers, dropped 40. Of course, Beal is out. I mean, how many games can we even expect Beal to play at this point? Like over under 10.5 games this season? I don't know. You should go over, but might be under. This dude Bradley Beal cannot stay on the floor. Every time he touches the floor, it's an automatic injury. So Beal was out for this one. Durant dropped 40, 4 and 5, but it still wasn't enough to beat the poverty Portland Trailblazers that are 7-19. The Warriors might be back. I want to see them give more minutes to Trace Jackson-Davis. I know we talked about that earlier, but as I said in the video I dropped 4 days ago, the Warriors need to make a change, whether that's a severe lineup change, putting Clay on the bench, putting Podziemski in the starting lineup, which, by the way, I forgot to mention, Podziemski got hurt. I hope he gets well soon and can get back to playing basketball. I don't know how severe the injury is. Of course, the game just ended, but I think it could be interesting if you give Kuminga more minutes, maybe even start him the rest of the way, have him as one of those primary defenders that goes on to those star matchups. He played great on Tatum tonight, pretty much shut him down. I think Tatum had like 15 points, at least in regulation. I think he ended with 15. I'm not sure, maybe a little bit more, but give Kuminga some more minutes, give Trace Jackson-Davis some more minutes, and even Podziemski, if he can stay healthy. Wiggins has not been efficient, so you got to take away some minutes from him until we see that improve. We're grinding daily on the channel, posting videos every single day. Sub if you guys haven't. We're on the road to 400 subs, and tomorrow I'm dropping a video about the All-Star ballot. That has officially dropped, so I'm gonna do my All-Star picks. We're gonna talk All-Stars. Make sure to turn on notifications. Don't miss that video, and click the video on your screen right here if you haven't seen it.